For me, I can just tell you what I think, but hey, what does Zoe know? You know what I mean? So,
What does Zoe know?
Simple meditation technique.
Meditation. Okay. Meditation technique. All right. And Shabaka, I'm glad to have you here today. You're here on my What Is Zoe Know podcast. Hey. So hey everybody. And I thought it would be interesting to get into some discussions with you regarding these methods that you practice. You call it what is it called?
Well, they're simple meditation techniques, and they're based or they come out of Kriya Yoga.
Kriya Yoga.
And these were brought by Paramahansa Yogananda, which he was a yogi, a person who practiced the science of yoga from India. He came about 100 years ago, actually, in 1920, to America, and he started to share this with people. And sometimes people think yoga, these type of things are a religion, but they're science. Anyone can use them because they're based on how everyone is built, how everyone is living. We all breathe. They use breathing techniques to help you get more peaceful and really to just get deeper into who you are.
Okay. Now does this have all the positions of your traditional yoga, where you have your different things that make you sweat when you get into those crazy positions, or is it something else that is entailed in the practice?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So people may think yoga and you think of pretzel moves and all that. But this actually has nothing to do with the positions.
Okay. Not physical positions per se.
Not physical positions.
Okay.
Initially, the positions were just to help people sit and be comfortable and be relaxed and be still, which is what meditation is. It's when the mind and body are still and your heart is open, meaning that you are able to just feel whatever you need to feel to be your best self. You don't filter it. You don't worry about what other people are going to think. And these are kind of like habits that you develop. So the yoga, the word actually means just union. So when we think of doing yoga, we're really talking about bringing ourselves together with our best self. So however I'm showing up, let it be the best that I can be.
Okay, all right. I mean, I know we got a lot of people out there who think of the meditation and yoga and being one with self is just a whole lot of like spiritual talking mumbo jumbo, and it's like that's not really real. If I just sit there and everything's quiet, I'm just not going to hear anything. What am I supposed to have some type of an epiphany or something like that? That's what they're thinking. They're like, it couldn't be anything really to that. It almost sounds like Woodstock days. We're gonna smoke a doobie, and now we're gonna let our energies flow, and everything's gonna be peaceful and nice. And so when you hear that type of talk, is there anything to what they're saying, or just do they have a completely misunderstanding with it?
I felt the same way when someone said meditation. Because, you see movies, you read about the Beatles and all these people, you get high, Jimi Hendrix, and that's not really what you do when you meditate. It's not something that is kind of like just out there, like smoke that you can't really experience. We're really talking about how can I experience life more deeply. And so meditation is a tool that lets you do that. And the way that you can think about it is we're always doing stuff outward. Going to the store, going shopping, I gotta work out, I gotta do the laundry.
Everything in the external.
Everything in the external, which is cool. But there's also an inside experience. And we have this. So whenever you're very joyful, whenever you're very happy, whenever you're experiencing like deep love, whenever something hits you and you're like, oh my God, that's a fucking good idea. These type of things where you just feel powerful, you feel juiced up, you feel like I can take on the world.
Okay. That's a euphoric type of
euphoric. Those feelings are a high, literally, that we're experiencing in our life. They're life at its best. What we're saying is when we go into meditation, we're tapping in to those experiences that are part of who we are inside. So it's kind of interesting. In the classes I teach, I always start off, I say, This is not about you believing in God or you believing in this or that. It's something you can do no matter who you are or what you believe, because it's not about what you believe, it's about what you experience. Because I can tell you one thing, you can have an idea in your head, and whether we agree or not, when we walk away, you don't know. You only have your belief, but you don't know for your own experience.
Right.
So until you experience something, then it becomes real, then it becomes truth. And so we say when you go into meditation, you're going to experience these things that we say are your highest self. You could figure out, when you show up, Lorenzo, what's the best you can show up as? How would that look? How would that smell? How would that taste?
What would my authentic self be?
Yeah.
What the experience?
When you feel that, boom, I can take on the world. What does that look like? Are you taller? Stronger? Are you more confident? Are you calmer? Are you wiser? All of these things that people usually will describe as their highest self, they always have one thing in common. They have nothing to do with what you have, but always it's about how you feel inside. And so meditation is going to help you tap into those deep feelings that are positive and bring that out into your everyday life.
Now, how do you explain it to someone? Because some people will hear that and they can come to the conclusion that because I feel this is what it is, this is what the truth is, and this is what's real because I feel it. You're gonna say you just said it's real. Now, suppose it's something that doesn't purport with what actual reality is, something that the rest of society knows not to be true, but something's going on in this person's head where they feel like, no, this is it because I feel it. It's real to me. I mean, even in the belief of a God or whatever holy book someone has, if they accept that as being true first, then everything after it becomes it kind of coincides and it reinforces what they already feel to be real. So when someone from the outside says, no, that's not real, they say, well, you don't know, you haven't experienced. I experienced it, so it's real for me. Now, we know that we have some people that can experience some things, and it ends up putting them inside of a padded room. But for them, and whatever's going on in their mind at that time, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Now, are we able to tell them or put them through therapy and say what you've been experiencing, it actually isn't reality? It's some chemical stuff going on in your head that's got you in an alternate type of mentality right now, and it's not healthy for you.
Right.
How can we tell those people that and them not be able to say, well, this is what's true for me, and what you think in this world here, it doesn't matter. Like how do we reconcile those type of things?
That's an excellent question, because we always have our beliefs about what's real, boom, and then we have what is real. And if they're very close,
is that subjective, or is those two states an objective thing? So no matter who's saying it, the truth is what it is.
Well, what I believe is subjective. What it is real. That's truth. It's objective. If they're far apart, that difference is what we call delusion. I'm trying to think it's like this, but it's really like this. Good example, when you're driving, you have blind spots. There's spots around the car where you just can't see clearly what's there. So if you're going to make a right turn or a left turn, you need to look behind you to make sure that you're
check your blind spots
and check your blind spots, right? And the way life works, when we try to understand life just using our five senses, sight, touch, sound, sensations, taste, information is always hidden. There's something that's always left out of the picture. And we try to fill it in. Our brains are great at trying to figure stuff out. But often,
those are the main senses, so there has to be another one. Or maybe even a few more.
Yeah. So when we fill that in, we miss the information and we misperceive. And that's where people's biases come in. I may look at you and say, well, you're a woman, you're this tall, you weigh this much, you dress like this, you talk like this. And then I fill in all other stuff things about you that is probably not true. It's probably not true if I sit down and talk to you and then we found out more. But because of how society and entertainment and just the way we grow up in our environment, we tend to feel
We're being programmed all the time.
Being programmed. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not good. So what we have to learn how to do is, how do I see the truth beyond what I think? Beyond what my guess. And this is what meditation helps.
How do you decipher that?
How do you decipher that? Because you're going to operate from a higher level. Now, meditation is not for everyone. So like you're saying, if someone is mentally, if they're wrestling with some mental issues, you don't want to put them in a situation where they need to meditate. They need to resolve and become stable first. Now, there's meditative practices, such as just walking in nature and just being aware of every step. That's called mindful walking, or even mindful activity. There's Tai Chi. But you can be mindful with anything, doing the dishes, where you just take your time to do one dish at a time.
To the details.
Paying attention to the details. And this will help center you. Usually if we have some type of imbalance that's mental, and most people have at some point, either mental imbalance because of stress, road rage, that's mental imbalance. I work on that, because sometimes I get on the road, and I'm like, you know what?
You ready to just crash into somebody.
But I don't do it.
It'll make me out this car.
Don't make me I just beat you with it, right?
With the whole car.
But that's not cool, and that's not how we want to let life, that's not how we want to respond to life. So how do we deal with these frustrations? When life doesn't go the way we think it should go, we have a choice of how we want to respond. We can either get upset, frustrated, angry, pissed off, or we can accept it and realize that I'm seeing life one way, but life is happening another way. Why don't I change? Why don't I get in tune more with what's really happening? Meditation helps you do that.
And I think a lot of us, we get in the habit of life is going, and we're in autopilot most of the time. We're just going. And rarely will we ever be present. Allow ourselves to be present in that moment, to experience everything that's happening now. Most of the time, we're just moving past the moments, and never pay attention. Like you said, like the dishwashing thing, and just pay attention just to the details. And by default, we just kind of we've all been programmed on what's going to happen, what needs to happen, and we just let's play and just go.
We're living in the past, we're living in the future, but we're missing the now. The now is the only thing you have, is what's happening right this second. And if I can show up totally for this moment, you'll find that joy, happiness, peace, all these other things that we talk about as our higher self will naturally start to flow through you. And you have a deeper experience.
Right. Okay. Yeah. For like you said, for someone that's imbalanced, are there some because it's hard to communicate with someone that's in that state, because how they're perceiving things may not put them in a position to receive things in the way it should. So, I mean, are there some practices one can use in order to get through just maybe to just maybe give them a shake and pay attention. Something's off right now.
So in those cases, because I'm not a medical doctor, I would say definitely see someone who is licensed and a professional to help you get to a place where you're not reactive in an unhealthy way. You always want to be healthy in how you're interacting with life, and if you need help to get that way, that's fine. We all need help to get through some of the rough patches in our lives, and we should never condemn ourselves. We should always have love and compassion for ourselves to help us get past whatever we're facing.
Can they do it themselves?
Depends. Again, I would say see a professional if you think that what you're dealing with is overwhelming. It's okay. It's okay. There is no judgment. Never judge yourself, never judge anyone else, because we never know what people in their entire life, minute by minute, have had to go through.
Okay.
And so we're never in a position to judge someone else.
Right.
But we're always in a position to respond to them with love and compassion, with support and patience, with understanding. I mean, I would want that for me.
Absolutely.
Hey, give me that. Why can't I give that to each other, right?
Yeah. If that's what you want, give it to others, because that's what you would want.
That's what I got you.
Now, for someone who's totally a novice, and not really familiar with the concept of doing the meditations, like what are some of the first steps to get someone? Because I imagine for someone who's unfamiliar with it, once they start there, the moment things get quiet, I imagine there's still so much stuff going on in their head. They're not able to be still, and in that, it may seem like it's ineffective. Like I haven't reached the state. I've seen these people look like they're in a zen and they're like connecting, and I see looks like their spirit is growing. And I sit there, I'm just sitting there, and I hear crickets in my head. I don't know what's going. So for people who want to explore that as an option for a practice that they want to do in order, to try to say, like you say, center themselves and reach their highest level of themselves.
Yes.
How do they start the process?
Perfect question. Because really, what's happening? Everyone has really already done meditation. Meditation is just focusing on something. The difference is usually we're focusing on something outside of ourselves. So you ever notice, you get into a good movie, everything else disappears.
Absolutely.
You are in that movie. You're like, there's no thoughts distracting you from the movie.
Right.
You're enjoying it. You're having a connection with the character. You may be crying, you may be laughing, you may be scared. But there's nothing between your attention and the movie.
Correct.
So what we're saying, because the movie is outside of yourself, when we meditate, we want to go in. And it's work. I mean, you're going to be active. People think you're just sitting there and nothing's happening. No.
Yeah, because if they don't experience it, they have no clue what's going on.
So I'll give you a quick tip how you can quickly just get into a nice meditation. Because we're going to go within ourselves.
ABC steps.
Yep. Be aware. First thing to do is just become relaxed. So you're going to sit down, you want your spine straight, and be comfortable. Get as comfortable as you can, but not comfortable to the point where you're going to fall asleep. So we ask you not to lean back on a chair if you're in a chair, which is perfect, but to sit upright. Maybe have a pillow right on the lower back, up against the base of the chair, but your back is off the chair. And then you're just going to kind of open your chest, put your hands up, and just rest them on your thigh, and you can just close your eyes. And now, with your eyes closed, you can just focus on your breathing. Just like you were into that movie, paying attention with every action and what the characters were doing, I want you to pay attention with your breathing in the same way. Let your breath become the most important thing you're thinking about, you're feeling, you're in touch with right at that second. And just take 1 second at a time. And as you practice, just watching the breath go in and out through your nose, your mouth is closed, you will notice that it gets deeper and it gets calmer. And the calmer the breath becomes, the more relaxed your body becomes. The more relaxed your body becomes, the more relaxed your mind will become. And your thoughts will start to just ease off.
I've had that. I mean, like when I used to work out, and my heart rate would be racing from running. I've learned to be able, if I control my breathing, I can actually control my heart rate. I bring it down. I do. I don't think about it as meditation. I just think about it as a control. It's just because when you're tired, you breathe hard and fast. But the moment you take your time and hold it, and then release it slowly, your body responds to it, and everything slows down.
That's why meditation works for everybody, because we all breathe. And our breathing is the key, because if you don't think about it, you breathe naturally. But if you want to, you can hold your breath. So breathing is something that you can control and is automatic. And that lets us get control of the body. Our heart beats automatically. I can't just say stop, start, stop, start. It's automatic. But my hands, my arms, the other parts of my body, they won't move unless I tell them to.
Right.
Your breathing is the only thing that is both automatic and voluntary. You control it or you don't, and it still takes place. So this is the key.
Well, you won't be here no more. Well, not in this form anyway. You won't be here. That's pretty cool.
I
like
breath.
it.
You can do this for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I like. When you first start, I mean, do you want to? Because you got to see, depending on someone's environment. Like where do they need to go in order to find a space, a place that's suitable to even start to meditate?
Well, because you're going within, you're focusing the breathing inside of you. You don't want any distractions, so no TV, of course, no music. Quiet environment. It can be anywhere in the house, but preferably someplace that you can go to every day. So you'll start to build up a nice habit of going there.
I've heard some people will actually go in their closets. It's a quiet spot. Close the door, and no one can find them. No one sees them, and they take a few minutes and they have their moment. They come back out because depending on, like I said, the environment that they're in, that may be the only space that they have where it's a controlled environment and it's quiet.
Wherever you pick, as long as it's joyful for you. Like, how long do you meditate? You meditate as long as you enjoy it. Once you stop enjoying it, stop. If you got something else to do, that's fine. But it's taking time every day for a few minutes or longer to tap into who you are. Because as you go within, that's where your expression comes from. It's coming from inside of you.
So whenever you see someone's behavior, it's only a reflection of what's inside. That's it. You can't see anything that's not in there.
So it's a reflection of what we can habitually, what we've gotten into the habit of doing and how we show up.
Right.
So if we've gotten into the habit where we're not showing up completely, we're missing out.
Or showing up in a way that you even find in yourself that it's not to your liking.
Exactly. How does it feel inside? If I'm showing up and I feel good how I show up, then do that. But if there's something where, hey, I really wish I could say that, but I'm worried about what people are going to think, or I'd like to dress this way, but I don't know if that's going to be okay with people, you're letting other people determine your life. Look, your life, realistically, is a limited quantity, which means we're mortal. One day we're going to die. But we have the choice. We can go to our deaths laughing or crying. We can go being who we are and loving that, or we can go worried about how we're going to show up in the world, society, and the rest of it. Be happy. Be you, because you are important. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I'm telling you that right now. You wouldn't be here if you didn't have something important to contribute to everything else.
Because no one can contribute what you can contribute.
Absolutely.
Only you control that.
Isn't that amazing? Every person's unique, just like a snowflake. There's billions of people here now. There'll be billions of people in the future, and there's been billions in the past. But you are the only you. That's a beautiful thing.
Only you that ever was and ever will be.
I want to see. Show up like you. But, we get the wrong message, but now it's time to change that message. Meditation is a tool that as you go in, you're going to find you and you're going to love you, and it's going to come out even more and more. And I guarantee your life will change.
I like it.
Don't take my word for it. Just try it. Just try some meditation, try some breathing. Take your time to be still, and always, because we want joy, we want peace, we want our life to be easy, bring that attitude into your meditation. Bring joy, love, laughter, compassion, calmness. Start off with that, and you'll find you get more of it. And don't forget to share it. Wow. Whatever good you have, expand it out and share it to people. A smile, a hug, a prayer, even in your mind, just say, hey, bless you. You don't have to say it in words. Your heart will communicate the energy more than anything else you realize. So.
Wow, good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, Shabaka, now you did say you teach. You teach, right?
I teach meditation. Yes.
Now, how could someone find you if they wanted to be a part of your?
We do some stuff online. I've been doing some stuff in person at Enso Apothecary in Fort Worth, and that's ENSO. But you can go to my site. I have a website called time, TIME, 2, the number 2, AUM.com. OM. time2AUM.com.
Wow.
TIME, the number 2, AUM.
So, and what is Om? Is it? Because it sounds like that's a sound that's made. Om.
Om. You'll hear a lot of people doing oming, and they may chant like this, but Om represents that initial sound whose vibration created everything.
Right.
So when the universe began, the Bible says first there was a word. That word was a vibration that caused everything to take shape.
That's what I think. Isn't everything a frequency?
Everything is. Everything's vibrating.
Right.
We all are vibrating. And so we are always
different frequencies.
These vibrations. But Om, you can even just chant saying, Ah, Ooh, and you'll find that's a very centering, very peaceful way just for you to get back into a place where you can look at the world in a perspective where it gives you a higher advantage.
Do it again for me. What sound?
Ah, ooh,
Ah, ooh.
These are the sounds we make where we don't use our tongue. So I made a sound like in
Oh, yeah, my tongue was in rest at that time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're resting. Ah, ooh, and you'll even feel a vibration in your stomach when you say ah. When you say ooh,
It's in a different space. Yeah,
you'll feel it in your heart, and you say
that's higher. You're right.
And actually, all you're doing is breathing the air out as you go from an open mouth to a closed mouth.
And it takes you from the bottom all the way to the top.
And it takes you from the bottom up. Again, we're always lifting that energy. We always want to go higher.
Great.
We always want to be our best. So.
Shabaka, that's great stuff, man. Hey, I'm glad you guys got to listen and be a part of this conversation. It was enlightening for me, and I hope it was for you as well. Now, they're going to look for you, so just be ready.
All right.
They'll look for you. And Shabaka, you are the meditation guru. I'm going to call you meditation guru, and I appreciate you joining me on What Does Zoe Know? And then for all you guys, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, this is What Does Zoe Know?
I'm your brother. Anything you like is a reflection of you. So be strong.
Take care.
All right.
For me, I can just tell you what I think, but hey, what does Zoe know? You know what I mean? So